I might start. Just before we take questions on the game, I think it's really important to acknowledge why all players and senior coaches came together before the game. I think the AFL have been at the forefront of a lot of social issues and a lot of challenges, whether it be racism, whether it be, in this case, violence, particularly violence against women. And we have a unique opportunity in our game that reaches so many people to be able to shine a light on those issues. But I think it's also really important to highlight that there are a lot of other people, not just AFL players and coaches, who have an opportunity to come together before a national audience and shine a light on these things. Now, it's also really important that, whether it's parents, teachers, coaches, mentors, leaders, that enough is enough. We've got to mentor these young men so that they know what's right and wrong. And it's easy to say, well, they should know what's right and wrong. But it's quite often the perpetrators of violence against women have also been in environments where they've witnessed, whether it be domestic violence or violence against women. So we've got an opportunity to shine a light on it, but it's up to the leaders, the mentors in society to actually show these young men the way. And of course we condemn violence against women, absolutely we should. But as leaders, we've got to stand up and be part of the change and be part of stopping this process of seemingly week after week women being put in incredibly difficult situations. So we do have an opportunity as leaders, and that's, as I said, parents, teachers, mentors, to do something about it. Not just shine a light on it and talk about it, but actually do something about it. Happy to take questions on the game.
First of all, well said on that front. Your thoughts on the match?
We got what we expected. Even my 7-year-old knew West Coast were going to be a real challenge this week. He's been watching Harley Reid like everyone else, and I probably had to point out Elliot Yeo and Tim Kelly and Liam Duggan, and the personnel's back largely. So McGovern and Barrass, Waterman, Darling up in the forward half. So not just the personnel, but the system looks back too. So West Coast have had, I sat here probably this time last year and they're just decimated by injury, and so they've done it tough. But they're looking like a really competitive outfit, and we knew that coming over. So I thought they played well. I thought we felt like we had control of the game for parts of it, but could just never put them away. So it's a credit they just kept coming at us.
They really surged late. What was the key from your point of view to hold on?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. I mean, I thought, again, we've taken a step forward with maturity. I mean, we're at round 8 and we've played 4 games interstate to this point. When you're in a relatively hostile environment and the run of plays going against you, you need your leaders to stand up and take control. And we work really hard on those things. All teams do. I thought Merritt led from the front. I thought we kept our composure when the game was getting pretty hot there, both in the contest and even a little bit off the ball. So I was really, really pleased with our composure and our measured approach to stabilise the game.
And you mentioned that there were periods where you couldn't put them away. Was that frustrating for you?
No, because you're not going to have the game on your own terms all the time. I mean, we gave up some pretty, unusual soft goals. But again, we don't really spend any time as a coaching group focusing on that on game day. We'll focus on it throughout the week. But yeah, we just played well enough to get out to a lead, but not well enough to put West Coast away. And as I said, that's partly on us, but a big part of it was their fight. And they always had hope in the game, and their good players had influence at different stages.
Tackling tonight was pretty good. Figures the numbers were really good, particularly up forward. I think you had 14 tackles inside 50 baseball plays with that.
Yeah. I thought some of those West Coast players are pretty hard to tackle. That's a Harley's moment there, where he's, two pretty tenacious customers in I think it was Hobbs and Merritt. That's not too many 18-year-olds do that. So we certainly had a focus on it coming in, and for the large part we held up really well. Still, maybe if you're going to be nitpicking a little bit, we've got a bit of work to do on our techniques, still a few high tackles, but we'll continue to work on that.
Just something from during the week, Draper, can you talk us through what your conversation with him was like, and I'm guessing you were pretty apologetic about it?
It was. I was really disappointed in Sam, and he's very, very clear how disappointed I was, and he thought he was in an environment where he thought he was being funny, and I said, mate, it's the furthest thing from funny. It's disrespectful. Our club has had to fight extremely hard for a long period of time to earn respect back in this competition, and that's just one thing that eats away at that. So I was really disappointed in him, but at the same time, I mean, my job's to I see these as opportunities to help educate and work with players. So it's not about hanging him out to dry, but he knows that he did the wrong thing. Absolutely not the reason why he didn't play. We would have loved him tonight, but we went through a cycle last year with Drapes where he played, got a bit sore, we kept playing him, and he had a sore knee, and I just wanted to break that cycle. So provided his knee's fine, he'll play next week.
How confident are you that he can play next week?
I don't know. I mean, I'm always optimistic, but one thing I do know is that we keep saying it. I think I certainly say it. The competition's on a knife's edge, and you just can't take players in who are less than 100% or very close to it. Everyone's carrying some little niggle, but I think we're starting to see it already at round 8. A lot of teams in the competition are managing players. So, did we manage Drapes? Well, medically, his knee wasn't enough to say that he cannot play. He didn't get ruled out from a medical perspective, but I went through this last year with him, and we just wanted to break the cycle. So that would suggest that his knee will be fine, but no guarantees.
And Jai tonight was a bit of a car.
Yeah, no injury again. Look, we spoke about it a lot at half time. He just had some calf tightness. He said, I'm absolutely fine, just a bit tight. He's a really important player for us, and it's just a no-risk approach. I mean, he started the third quarter. He felt fine. But it just became a decision that we had a like-for-like player in Hobbs as a sub, so we just, out of an abundance of caution, just subbed him off. But indications are he'll be no problem next week.
Had a bit to do with Todd Goldstein. Tonight he reached a milestone, 10,000 hit-outs, first player to do it. And last week we saw Pendles with 10,000. Just a little bit on that achievement and I guess through longevity.
Yeah, longevity is a big part of it, but I've known Todd since he was very young, impressionable, and it's such a good lesson for our playing list because they talk about, geez, he's so professional, so diligent, so smart in his analysis of the game, and those things are all true, absolutely true. Was he a natural at that when he was 18? No. Like he has where he's, and it's frightening to think that he's. He said to me today, I was appointed as coach when I was 33, and he's now 36, and he just can't quite get his head around that. Well, I said I was more likely of being a coach at 33 than I was still playing at 36. But he's just a great example to professionalism. He doesn't miss a session. Really good for our group, and I have an enormous amount of time for him. I always have, but even I didn't think he'd be able to play at the level that he's been playing at this year. He's just been really impressive for us, and high game time ruckman. So that puts him in the slot a lot, but he deserves all the accolades that he'll get for this milestone.
I think you led clearances 13-5 at quarter time, and on the back of him, right?
Yeah, and. Drapes is a little bit, he's a bit concerned that the 26-year-old's getting rested for the 36-year-old. We thought it'd be the other way around, but the thing with Goldie is it's a testament to his resilience. That he just, you can say it's fortunate, but he's just he's been able to get out there and play high minutes and not miss many games. And I think the combination of Draper, Nick Bryan is an AFL ruckman. We're in a really good position with our rucks, and Drapes and Nick Bryan will learn a lot from him.
Brad, to take you back, not specifically to Sam Draper himself, but you've got another one in Kyle Langford who likes to sort of give back to the crowd. Is it still good to have these personalities in the game, like people that are sort of happy to I guess, be the villain a little bit and just be a little bit more vocal than some of the other players who just sort of toe the line, I guess?
Oh yeah, I think the game's got plenty of room for a bit of colour. But I think, and this is the thing with Drapes, he adds massive colour. I mean, I see a lot of 4 and 5 year olds running around with mullets with number 2 on their back and their Essendon jumper, and it's fantastic. I love it. And he's a very marketable type of guy, and he's a lovable guy. I mean, he's just such good fun to be around, and such a great club man. But there is a line in terms of what is colour and what's extroversion and what's disrespectful. And I was just really, really disappointed that we've taken so many steps forward in earning respect that we gave a bit back.